We're playing every game on Game Pass, and game 72 is Subnautica. This game was highly requested by the community since the start of this series back in April of this year, and unfortunately it is leaving Game Pass this week. But on the bright side, I was kind of forced to try this unique title. So Subnautica is an ocean-based survival game, and depending on the person playing, it could be considered a real horror experience too. And for me, this was the most stress-inducing game I have ever played. I've always felt a small amount of panic anytime I've been swimming in a large body of water, and I almost always swim with my knees touching my chest in hopes of avoiding anything touching me. And Subnautica took that same fear and slapped it into a video game. The game may look cute and innocent, but be warned, you're going to be nervous 99% of the time. So gameplay-wise, you're stranded in the middle of the ocean on an alien planet, and you have to gather resources to survive while also diving into the story and lore. I initially put this game into survival mode where you have to constantly worry about hunger and thirst, but I did find this very tedious and annoying. So after an hour or so, I ended up starting a new world where I could mainly focus on going through the story. And to my surprise, on this new world, nothing was the same. So I'm assuming everything is kind of procedurally generated. In my first playthrough, I was able to use this giant chunk of coral that stuck out of the top of the water to help guide me around. But in my second world, there was nothing anywhere besides my little life raft. So the fact that you can get turned around and lost so easily actually makes exploring feel very rewarding and fun. So every time I ended up leaving the life pod, I was truly excited of what I might find. On my first world, I was really scared to adventure out too far, and the dang music and the weird noises coming from the water really didn't help me feel any more comfortable. The main thing that I was looking for while I was adventuring was some way to make rubber. And a quick warning, it doesn't come out of the tail of the stinky pimple butt fish. So once I figured that out, I decided to go a little deeper, and I was trying to harvest the seeds off of these plants. So I swam out and the water got a little darker and gloomier. Then the music started playing all creepy, and out of nowhere, I was attacked by a giant seahorse thing. And I ain't gonna lie, I kind of screamed like a little bitch sitting all alone in my recliner. So I booked it out of there back to my life pod and said, F this, I ain't playing this damn game anymore. But I knew I had to give it another chance because it was requested so much. So once I calmed my nerves, I went ahead and hopped into the non-survival mode. Everything was going a lot smoother. It was so much more enjoyable not having to worry about eating and drinking every 5 minutes, which also helped me progress through the story a lot quicker. And once again, the way the story is set up also really helps with adventuring. It only gives you little tidbits you have to go out and find and slowly piece together. So you're constantly moving around and finding new things. I eventually came across a random floating island, and that was honestly the first time I felt truly comfortable in the entire playthrough. So I figured I'd just stay here forever, but the game slowly forced me back into the water. Now, with all that being said, the only big complaint I have for Subnautica was its performance. I constantly had massive frame drops, and the plants and rocks would constantly pop in and out. But overall, for most fans of survival adventure games, I think this would easily be an 8 or 9. But for me personally, the amount of anxiety it brought me by always making me feel like something was right behind me just isn't something I want to play all day. But I can't knock it too much, so I'm gonna give it a 7.2 out of 10. I hope y'all got the chance to try this one before it was gone. Thank y'all for watching, and I'll see you in the next one for Game 73.